Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be providing a market analysis update on Theta Token. We're going to talk about some constructive signs here playing out on the daily chart, cover some key levels of resistance, as well as talk about the weekly chart, which we've got some moving averages that we can look to, as well as the previous range lows from back in the summer months of 2022. So if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, by the way, I will leave a link to my Twitter page in the description below. Feel free to go ahead and check that out as well. I'm fairly active over there with crypto content. So with Theta, I really do want to start off by talking about this most recent move, this most recent rally, which has really just come off the back of this double bottom formation where we've come back down, retested the 71-cent level of support twice on this daily chart, forming this double bottom and then coming back up to reclaim this level at 80 cents. And this is a pretty big sign because we know the 80-cent level has been historically a strong area of support and resistance. When I zoom out here all the way, going back here to the bull run of 2020, we had that form strong resistance in October where we saw that rejection, and then from there we consolidated about 80 days or so before getting that next leg up. So this was the range high that capped the upside in this consolidation during that bull run, and then when Theta was able to break out above that level, you can see how quickly it picked up that rate of change to the upside and just exploded following that breakout from, again, that zone at 80 cents. And we have reclaimed it, so that is a positive sign. This looks like one big deviation or fake out below this level. So if we do have some sort of retest into the coming weeks, into the coming months, where Theta eventually makes it back down to that level, really look to see if we can flip that into support. If buyers start to step in at that zone, that is going to be a very bullish sign that we had this pattern where we had the breakdown, but it really wasn't accepted. Price didn't accept below this level. We didn't see any follow through to the downside. And that really just gives me the sign and the idea that we have the momentum slowing to the downside, and we have started to see a change in structure where we're no longer just accepting each and every breakdown. Now, in terms of resistance, what we can look to is going to be this moving average in green. This is the 200-day simple moving average. You'll notice that's where we rejected at back here in November on this big rally, from that low at 93 cents all the way up into that 200-day average, forming a resistance off of that. And then when I zoom out here as well, we have seen rejections back here in 2021 with the first breakdown right here in the summer of 2021, and then the rejections coming in August, and then November, and lastly December. So it is going to be a very key level of resistance to watch out to. Currently that's at $1.06. But do consider that it has been averaging down very quickly over this entire bear market, and we could see it retest at a lower valuation. So just keep that in the back of your mind in terms of resistance, as well as the weekly chart. We can look to the 20 and 21 weekly moving averages as our other resistance. And this has been a much more consistent level of resistance. And when I mean consistent, I'm really referring to the fact that we've had, 5 attempts at breaking above this throughout this entire bear market. So we had this first move right here in November of 2021. That's really when Bitcoin had its all-time high. That's when the market really peaked in terms of the price with the majors. And right here, Theta tried to get back above these moving averages, but ultimately it failed, came back and broke below them in the end of November. And then we reflipped it into resistance right here on the next move in December. And then throughout 2022, we also saw that act as resistance with this move in March, coming up to that level once again, rejecting, coming back down, forming lower lows. Same thing here in August as well as November. So, we've got a lot of retests. We got a lot of confluence in this zone right around 98 cents. That's basically where these two moving averages sort of average up to. And we also have that as our previous range low from back here in the end of 2022, where we saw multiple bounces holding this as support on the weekly chart. And overall, we just got a lot of resistance towards this zone, and I would expect it to be very difficult for Theta to just slice right through this level. Now, obviously, if Bitcoin continues on its rally towards 22, 24, or even 28K, that could really help propel the altcoins above some of those resistance levels and start reclaiming them. But unless we really see that strength continue with Bitcoin, I think it's going to be very difficult for Theta to reclaim this being a confluent level of resistance with the weekly moving averages as well as the previous range lows. So most likely what we could expect is potentially some consolidation, really just cooling off this most recent bounce off the lows, taking us up almost 50%. And then eventually when we do see a little bit more strength recover, then we could see that breakout and then potentially flipping that into support. And this would really be the longer term bullish scenario, mainly because, again, this has been a strong level of resistance and it's just really defined the trend to the downside ever since that peak back here in 2021. And you can see how consistent that move has been. So breaking that consistency to the downside is really what we're going to be watching out for into the next few months for bullishness on Theta Token. Now, certainly we could have the same scenario happen as the last 5 attempts, which is basically just a rejection and then coming back down to form lower lows. And that's really not what you want to see if you're bullish on Theta, because we have seen time and time again that rejection has typically given us, if we just take some of these declines, 56% drawdown, this one being a 76% drawdown. And you get the point. Every time we reject off of these, we do typically see a pretty sizable move to the downside. So if we can break above that, it's a great sign. But otherwise, if we get that rejection, just keep that risk in the back of your mind. Do consider that we have seen that happen time and time again. And it really wouldn't be out of the ordinary or something unquestionable, mainly because it's happened so frequently throughout this entire bear market. Not saying we have to get that rejection, but again, do consider that to be a risk. And if we were to get that rejection, we could look to some of these levels from back here in 2020 as our support, like the range low right around 60 cents. So overall, I hope you guys enjoyed the content and the analysis, and I'll see you in the next one.